Cold day. Got a bunch of snow actually. Kind of strange for Arizona, but figured today I'd show you guys how to film some point of view videos and how to get the most out of your camera equipment, get some good viewing angles, and just engaging your viewers and making them feel like they're in the car themselves. There's a lot of different ways I've seen people do this. I've seen people hang cameras from their visor. I've seen people, put cameras in the front of their car, sometimes on the side. A lot of people run these straps here. They're okay. I don't really like them because the camera sits up a little bit too high and then you can't really get, your hand position and the shifter. So I'm going to show you a couple of techniques today to get your viewing angle actually at eye level. For my video specifically, I use a GoPro Hero 8 Black. The 7s are okay. They're not really that great for nighttime filming. I've kind of found out from personal experience with a few friends. And then the 9s I think are even better, the newest ones that just came out. So I picked this one up for like 200 bucks used, and it was a pretty good deal. But it has really good image stabilization, and I use it mainly for that. So here's part number 2. It's gonna look a little strange at first, but basically you want to get a hat with a strap in the back that you can tighten, and then they actually sell these clips where you can have a GoPro mount on it. So I kind of angle it like that. And then what you do is attach the GoPro and have the actual GoPro sit on the actual bridge of your nose. And then that way the lens itself is sitting at eye level. So this is gonna look super nerdy when you're driving, but it's a really great angle. What you wanna do is make sure the hat itself is super tight on your head. So as I move around, and then angle this so see how it's actually sitting on my nose itself. Yeah, obviously you want to make sure that the camera isn't blocking your view, but this is how I do it, and it works really well. For the actual GoPro settings, you're not going to use like a standard 4K or 1080p. You're actually going to switch to 1440. And depending on if you want a cinematic look or really get into some high-speed action, you can go 24 or 60 frames per second on there. Let me show you in the settings here. Wide angle lens, hyper smooth on. I don't really mess too much with this stuff except for high bit rate. Leave all that kind of standard. The other setting you want to keep in mind, and I turn this on a lot, is the camera itself is sitting on the bridge of your nose, and sometimes the screen can actually touch your skin. So what I usually do is I set up the screen lock there just to make sure that I don't accidentally press any buttons while I'm driving. Gonna move on to the audio setup next. I'll put all the links to these items in the description where to buy all these things, but it's fairly simple and cheap if you want to do this yourself and follow along. I got a fairly cheap mic. I think this thing was like 20 or 30 bucks. It had this like fuzzy boom adapter on it to get rid of some wind noise. And I'll show you the placement I usually put on, for that. I have like a simple mono suction cup. And then the other thing is this long audio cable. Now, keep in mind, there's actually different types of audio cables, okay? So if you look at the prongs on this, see those 2 black hash marks? So this is actually the style that's going to come out of the mic itself. If you're going to be recording with an actual smartphone, these accept these types. See how there's 3 black areas in there? So you'll actually have to convert, and the mic that I'm going to link actually has a conversion cable. It'll say for phone. So it'll actually go from the 2 port to the 3. So this is what the full setup looks like. You're gonna have your long cable that goes from the mic itself in the back of your car, kind of where the exhaust is, but I mean, you can put it wherever you want. That's gonna go to a double female connector. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. And then your conversion from a 2-prong to a 3-prong, and then I have an iPhone, so I need the lightning dongle. Once you have all this contraption set up, there's an iPhone app called Motive Audio. I'll provide a link to that as well. But essentially, it's gonna have a record button. It's gonna actually show your levels, which is extremely important. And then you can actually export that to a video with just audio in it, or you can export the actual audio file itself. Monitoring your levels is going to be extremely important, especially for exhaust, because some cars and where you place the mic, it could be pretty loud. So on this app itself, you'll see there's a little gray area here, and that's actually where you want to target your audio levels. So me just talking right now, and I'm pretty far away from the mic, the levels are pretty low, but you're actually going to adjust the gain slider until you're driving wide open throttle, and you might want to do a couple test runs to make sure that your audio levels aren't peaking too high, because you'll get some nasty clipping and it'll sound like, let's say we're in the car, you have the GoPro mounted to your head, and you have in your center console or dash your actual phone sitting there waiting to be recording. You kind of want to press the record buttons almost at the same time with both your phone and the GoPro. It just makes it easier to sync up in post, and just a lot less work. So just try to get your audio and video files starting and stopping at a similar time. There are ways to actually look at the timestamps and actually determine which audio clips go with which video clips. So I'll show you how to do that as well. Just keep in mind, if you don't use this exact combination, it will not work. The audio will not recognize from the mic to your phone. So just make sure you pay attention to that. Shout out to my boy Cletus. You're the best. But I just want to show you real quick my mic position in relation to the exhaust. It's fairly close. The thing I want to do is keep it away from the top of your bumper or back of your car. Kind of towards the middle of the bumper will block all the wind noise out, and you'll just have better results in general. Okay, so now we're actually going to move on to using Premiere Pro to organize your clips and sync the audio and video after you have it all recorded. I'm sure you can do this with other applications, but I mean, pretty much everyone uses Premiere Pro these days, so I'll give you a short little tutorial on how to make sure your clips are all set up correctly, including cropping the 1440p. I didn't mention this before, but I use 1440p because it's a little taller than 1080, and it allows me to crop out the top where your sort of like visor and roof would be, but it would actually still give you room to show shifting and hand position on the wheel, which is extremely important. So now that you have some audio and video files, you're going to transfer them to your computer, and now I'm going to show you guys how to combine the audio and video files in Premiere Pro, and then also crop your 1440p video so it looks right. So I'm going to double click to import media. I'm going to go to my folder with all the audio clips and video clips. Deselect this one. Okay, so here the the biggest thing is you're going to see some video files and some audio here. Now you have to make sure you're combining the correct files together. So what you could do is actually sort the actual files by media duration. And here you can actually see that these clips, as long as you start your video and audio recordings at similar times, they should have similar durations. So this is how you would actually figure out, which clips go to which video and audio together to sync them. So to sync them together, so for example, this one's 31 seconds, this one's 36 seconds. I know that these two go together. I'm actually going to select them, hold down Control to select two at the same time. And then you should be able to go to Merge Clips. And then we're actually going to make sure that audio track 1 is selected, and then say use audio time code from the clip, and then the clip itself is there, the audio clip. And then this is important to remove audio from video clip, because we don't want to use the audio from the GoPro. It's not going to be as good as your external mic setup. So once that's done, it should combine those. It'll actually say merged at that point and create a new file for you. So there, you should have your audio and video combined. You can mess with the levels a little bit. So I'm actually going to import this one to the timeline. Okay. And you can see that in here, when it was combined, that my GoPro ran a little bit longer than the actual audio recording, which is fine. Not a big deal. It just shows you that, I sort of stopped the clip at different times on recording my phone versus the GoPro. Okay, so here, this is what I want to show you guys. When you record in 1440, these clips are a little bit taller. So now that you imported the clip, your sequence settings are going to be based on the first video clip that you import. So that's going to be 1920 by 1440. We actually want 1920 by 1080. So what you would do is come into the sequence, this icon here, go to sequence settings, change this to 1080. Okay. Okay, so now you can actually see it zoomed in here. I want to get more of the shifter and my hands in here, so what I'm going to do is make sure this clip is selected, double click on the actual preview window, and now I can actually drag this a little bit and make sure the bottom of the actual video file itself is at the bottom of the frame. See that there? So in that way, you just barely get the roof line, and then you get more of your hands and shifter in there as well. So see that? And then you can get the gauges and RPM, and it looks a lot better. I hope that was helpful for you guys. I know I got a lot of questions on how I make some of my point of view videos, and I had a lot of friends asking questions about what actual equipment I use and all those adapters for the audio and mic hookups. So again, I'm going to be providing links in the description. Hope you guys found this useful, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.